In the bottom right-hand corner, this is game number 1 of Fresh Series. The blue Protoss from Denmark is MaxPax. Taking on in the top left, our red Terran player. This is GuMiho. Alright, so we head on into this GuMiho versus MaxPax best of 3. And we'll see what is in store for us. I actually think this could be a fun one as well. I wouldn't have prioritized it over the other matchups. But, yeah, kind of cool to be able to grab this one right now. As we just have our SCV going to come out onto the left side of the map there. And go moving down for the moment. Probe moving about as well. Can GuMiho get what would be an upset against MaxPax? MaxPax has been extremely consistent in these online cups as of late. He's been so good at just week after week coming through with this, so excited to see if he can, if GuMiho can maybe, like I say, have a little bit of an impact. GuMiho is a pretty tricksy player, will play some different builds and so on, so definitely some potential there for things to get interesting. Right about to pop, we do see our Nexus on the way up. Simulator, Adept, and Warp Gate all producing. Drop our reactor down on the barracks as well. Hey, thank you so much, Palkin Tokaju. How you doing on the 55-month resub? Welcome back, really appreciate it. As our Reaper will continue on to the Zealot here. Zealot sits in that line of sight blocker, but the Reaper has high ground vision, so can actually kind of fight back a little bit. It's a fun interaction. Haven't seen someone trying to hide in that line of sight blocker for... I actually don't think I've really seen that at all. That's not one we usually hide in, no? Very interesting. Anyways, here's the Adept. Gonna shade up as well, as this first Zealot and Adept will combo to push the Reaper back and allow us to continue to move upwards on the map and try and put some pressure in. The proxied factory from GuMiho is going to be a Cyclone. Of course, this is not the patch, and so the Cyclone is still pretty darn good on the ground. Adept gonna chase, Reaper gets pushed back up to the high ground again. The grenade goes down. Seeing that blink on the way up from MaxPax, no surprises. What is going to be a surprise is how powerful this Medevac Cyclone combo can be. We'll see how well this does as we get this ready to hop in toward the main base. And perhaps in the next few moments. That blink's still chrono boosting along. A couple Cyclones will pop. The Medevac will be here in a moment. Result, the Adept are going to get a couple of swipes off on the command center there, so some damage being dealt. Adept will shade at the top and go pushing through. GuMiho about to drop the main base of MaxPax with those two Cyclones. The Adept is actually going to get in and realize, whoa, hang on a second, there's no starport, there's no factory here, and hello, that's where they are on the other side of the map. Probes have to start pulling. 3 workers killed already, make it 4. How well can the Cyclones do as 2 Stalkers show up? We'll continue for a couple more workers. Obviously, you have the Medevac micro to avoid some of these Stalker shots. We've missed a few of the lift-ups. At the same time, Zealot on the natural are going to do very well. No, we lose a Cyclone as well. GuMiho not quite with the cleanest micro he's looking for, and for all of that, he gets 8 probes, but he's lost 5 SCVs, and he's still gonna... Oh my goodness, he just dropped fresh mules onto the Adept and the Zealot. One of the fresh mules dies, the other has to run away. We're now at 6 SCVs killed. This is much better economic damage actually from MaxPax because he's forced a lot of SCVs to run away from the natural as well. And it's so much less commitment from MaxPax too. In fact, he's going to get to 8 SCVs now, maybe 9 with this. Oh my goodness. It's all gone wrong for GuMiho. Like I said, I mean, the attack in itself wasn't even bad. It was just You can't have that attack but then take all the damage at home at the same time. See if the Liberator can show up to do much here, but I'm not really holding my breath or expecting much of anything. The Stalkers continue to chase down that Cyclone. It will fall. Cyclone drops down. This Liberator is going to siege up again. A few probes off to the edge. Going to have to be careful. You see how Stalkers is going to blink up to the high ground. This is where MaxPax is going to try and make the absolute most of his Stalkers, and very good micro so far. I was going to say, I feel like he needed to make a play to get that final Stalker out of there, but he actually didn't quite get the unload off the Prism in time and then get back to go pick up. A little bit of a shame. So one Stalker lost, which maybe could have survived. Nexus Corona boosting, again the Forge coming up, the charge on the way. The Stalker's going to get across and SCVs will begin to go down. SCVs are dropping, the few Marines will be there, continuing to hit those Stalkers. Challenge continues to be done. Stalkers and MaxPax get back to the top. A couple Stalkers will unload. Maybe a chance to hop into the main base here as the Blink will allow us to get straight in. The Marauder will go down. We're not going to find the chance to get the Tech Lab. Stim will stay alive. Obviously still a nice start. Getting a Marauder. Blink out is available here too. We'll do exactly that. And again, we're moving into that charge upgrade to stay heavy on the gateway aggression in these early stages. Back to the center. We're going to turn it around. A couple Stalkers going to get chased. I will retreat away here currently as we do have the charge and the +1 continue to come up and online. Fire Force will get there as well and just continue to push those Stalkers away, so doing what we can there. And try and keep everything pushed back as best we can. The Stalker's going to get back at it, and once more going to go in for the bio units. Yeah, you know, GuMiho has a little bit of power with this attack because it has Stim, and it is just gateway-centric on the side of MaxPax. There's definitely an opportunity here for GuMiho to do very well. Problem is, he's losing SCVs at home. I'm not sure if he just has the continued momentum that he needs. MaxPax is having an Immortal showing up. He can pop Overcharge, and GuMiho will say GG. Losing too many SCVs, and MaxPax is going to take game one of this best of bottom right hand side. We're gonna have ourselves the blue Protoss player who does come out of that pretty scrappy game actually. When you think about the the Cyclone drop and so on, and that Zealot and Adept just did so much damage on the other side of the map. That really is where the game went so wrong. MaxPax up 1-0, taking on the red Terran top left, GuMiho. Clem Classic is now 1-1. Okay. I'll admit, you guys were wrong. We should have watched Clem versus Classic. Aye, aye, aye. 1-1 between Clem and Classic then. Clem must have won the first game pretty quickly though. Wonder what Classic got up to in game 2. Again, that is on Beowulf's stream if you want to catch it. We'll continue here in this matchup between MaxPax and Gumi. We're going to nibble up. SCVs will take some shots. SCV going to fight against the probe, so probe will take some damage. And then it will drop down, and you have our Marine hitting the probe a few times over, and that probe taking some hits. So a few shots eaten up right there. Get pushed over to the edges. Do you have A little bit of chill time. And probe goes down and GuMiho clears that up. Again, playing the Marine instead of the Reaper means he's not going to have as much scouting potential across the map or as much information and so on, but you do have a little bit of a faster factory because 50 gas was not spent on the Reaper, so that goes a long way a lot of the time actually, so that's something we can maybe keep track of and keep in mind as well. Factory finishes. Again, the Stargate is coming up from MaxPax. The Nexus is about to finish. The Warp Gate continues through as well. Definitely just straight through the natural and in toward the main base for the moment. That fires a few shots off, nothing super crazy going on. That will really try and get rid of a couple of those Marines, but unfortunately not quite going to happen. Unless we just keep on pulling back and getting out of there for the moment. Medevac and a couple Marines still coming through. There is a siege tank in production from GuMiho as well. Medevac is about to pop, and that's going to allow us to load up the Marines, and they can go now across the map. And we'll see what they can find as they get to the bottom right. Couple Phoenix already out, another Phoenix going to rally across now as well. Marines will just not get too far forward though. MaxPax with the Phoenix should be very good. Have the robo facility still getting the observer going again. Tank couple Marines coming through, the robo bay on the way as well. Phoenix try and push in, the Marines are going to be there. Medevac overhead, and the Phoenix is going to try and come back across again. Lift up that SCV, the Marines will be there to push the Phoenix back around as well. SCVs go down, so not bad harassment. Colossus on the way. Nexus still producing on through. Going to get that finished up in a few moments as the couple of Vikings will be overhead. The tank's going to get to the front as well. It's a lot of units. GuMiho's push definitely has some scariness to it. Something you got to respect a little bit here is MaxPax. Make sure you have a force to fight that. The first Colossus will help a lot. The Viking count obviously makes it difficult for the Phoenix as well to really do much. The Phoenix even trying to catch reinforcements, but the Vikings are positioned well. Good setup from GuMiho, and I think he will successfully move forwards on the map here. I like this from MaxPax as well. He's going to force the tanks to siege, and this should just be him pulling back. Oh, good target fire at least. Does get a good chunk of units off the tank shots there. I mean, basically we're just trying to slow this down as much as possible for MaxPax. He does lose two Phoenix fighting the Vikings in the background as well. So some damage taken on that one. Tanks continue to press up. The Immortal and the Colossus continue to have to back away. Cyclone gets a lock onto the Colossus also. The couple Stalkers warping in. The Vikings are going to push through. The battery is going to overcharge, and that battery is going to overcharge onto that Colossus to do a lot for it. Zichang picked off over on the edge, but we do lose the Colossus. Not really enough to survive on the right side with, so MaxPax in a lot of trouble. His Mole fell there as well. He does have another Colossus. We're currently building an Observer off the road, and like I say, the Vikings are just so powerful in this moment. Too many of them, I think, for these Phoenix to really handle it all, as our gateway in the front is going to go down. I actually think MaxPax may just be completely dead in the water, to be honest. I'm looking for a way out for him, but the supply really is not there. The Phoenix will go down. The Vikings can work on the Colossus. There's not another Colossus on the way. We're building a Prism. That's not going to save the day here at all. In fact, the Prism's never even going to get out anyway. And what we're going to run, I guess we wait for charge and we run these Zealots in and see if they can do enough. By that time, MaxPax has basically lost the game already. Third base going down. He is building a fourth on location, so try and get that up as the Zealots are going to charge through. The Bio's going to stim. The Zealots will melt away. GG. GuMiho takes game number 2 of the best of 3. And we have got a series on our hands here in this quarter left-hand corner as we are tied up 1-1 in this best of 3. The blue Protoss player is MaxPax. And top right, our red Terran is GuMiho here on Ghost River. Was I right? We got 2 PvTs instead of 1 with Clem Classic. Yeah, I think Clem Classic being Game 3 is kind of exciting. But honestly, GuMiho and MaxPax being Game 3 is exciting as well. We got the barracks going here, and just gonna have ourselves the gateway coming up as well. You see the pro backing away for a couple of moments. Let's see what GuMiho wants to do in this game. Try to see if he's got a some more tricksy stuff up his sleeve or not. Robton's around. Heads back home. Maybe into the factory before we expand here. Over through the center. Again, factory coming up. Command center on the way. We got the Adept coming across. Reaper will get chased back. We have ourselves the Reaper and the Hellion continuing through. The command center's coming up as well. Starport still building on the way from GuMiho, so we get that going as well. That Hellion pops out. Reaper still coming through. Twilight Council Gateway all building on the side of MaxPax. I got that Twilight Council online in a few moments. The Adepts will step forward. The Reaper and the Hellion coming through. That's Blink on the way then. We will have ourselves a Robo on the way through as MaxPax settles into Ghost River. Now GuMiho is on a couple of Reapers and a Hellion. He's got that CC finishing for himself. Medevac on the way, so we can maybe see some more aggression from him with the Cyclone. See what the next step of this will be for him. As MaxPax does get the Stalk on the high ground and deflect those Reapers, at least that gets turned back around. getting the Adept there. The Reapers, the Marines, the Cyclone coming back through. Soldiers gather up again, liberating a couple Marines coming out as well. Just going to be having the Bio going to get there, knocking down the rocks. See the medevac up through the top. Stalker's ready to hop into this main base, but I mean, GuMiho's in position. Stimpack will be protected nicely. Again, next coming up, probes coming through. Got ourselves a tank, marine, stimpack. Full continuability as the engineering bay comes about as well. Just gonna get ourselves that forge on the way. MaxPax gonna start to improve his own upgrades at this point. The main base now do get through, and they actually do get rid of Stimpack, so after defending that nicely the first time around, it is going to look very good here for MaxPax the second time around. Gets a good few SCVs. Obviously denying Stim is going to really slow down the Terran's kind of stance in this game in general. I mean, the tech lab was very exposed at first, we protected. The second time around we do not, and that's going to cost you so heavily. These Stalkers. We'll get rid of the Liberator too, so that's going to be the end of that harassment from GuMiho. Marines go down, tank there as well. Still got the +1 attack and charge coming up too. So he's gonna get there for the Cyclone. The few Marines step forward as well. Still got Stimpack and +1 coming up. Marine Marauder still coming by for a moment. Charging +1, continue to come about. So let's come over. We're now going to see the Robo Bay coming through, the +1 attack coming in as well. So got that Stim coming through, got ourselves a bit more time. I see the extra gates coming about. Just gonna have our +2 attack coming through, the Colossus coming in. There's the medevac gonna gather as you have our order gonna move forward a little bit. So let's get across. A few Marines gonna get chased around. Bio gonna fight there with the Stalkers going back the other way. Going to be seeing the Bio going to shoot a couple more Stalkers, going to get hit. Medevac will fall as the Orbital takes some more shots. Stalker's going to get rid of the Medevac. A few Marines going to get jumped on. The Zealot's going to get there as well. Marine Marauder will go down. Marauder gets chased back a little bit. A couple more tank shots coming through. Concussive shells, Marauders and Marines continue to come about as we are going to be seeing the Prism diving into the back of this natural. Will get in alive. And we'll begin to unload the Zealots as we look for MaxPax to maybe make a move on to ending this game. A couple of tanks going to get jumped on by Zealots quickly. High ground tanks are nice defensively. I love the target fire on the Stalkers, but the Zealots in the main are going to cause complete chaos here as some of them will get to the tanks on the edges, and that will be that. And that's GG's. MaxPax takes it 2-1, and we are going